You swipe up, just one more video. You tell yourself it's the last one, but 20 minutes vanish before your thumb moves again. Your eyes are heavy, your phone screen is warm against your palm, and somewhere deep in your mind, a faint wave of guilt begins to settle. You didn't plan to spend your night here. You had things to do, thoughts to process, rest to claim. Yet here you are, trapped in a seamless loop of short-form noise. The common narrative tells you that this is a personal failing. Society calls it a lack of discipline, weak willpower, or a modern symptom of brain rot. But that explanation is not just wrong, it is a carefully crafted distraction. You didn't lose control because you are weak. You lost control because your brain is currently fighting against billions of dollars of behavioral architecture designed specifically to bypass your conscious mind. This is not a battle of discipline. It is a war of design. Consider this single statistic. The average young adult now spends between 3 to 5 hours every single day scrolling through algorithmic feeds. That translates to roughly 75 days a year, over 2 full months of pure, uninterrupted screen immersion. If you calculate that across a decade, you are giving away nearly 2 full years of your waking life to a glowing glass rectangle. When you look at those numbers, it feels terrifying. But what is even more shocking is that almost everyone reports feeling exhausted while doing it. We aren't scrolling because we are entertained. We are scrolling long after the joy has drained out of the room. We scroll through boredom, through numbness, through a quiet, lingering anxiety that we can't quite name. Why would an intelligent human being willingly participate in something that actively drains their mental energy? Because you are not interacting with content. You are interacting with an invisible psychological trap known as variable ratio reinforcement. To understand why your thumb refuses to stop, we have to look back at a famous experiment conducted by psychologist B.F. Skinner in the mid-20th century. Skinner placed pigeons inside a box with a small lever. In the first trial, every single time the bird pecked the lever, a food pellet dropped out. The bird learned the pattern, ate when it was hungry, and left the lever alone when it was full. The reward was predictable, so the behavior remained controlled. Then, Skinner changed the mechanism. He rewired the lever so that food dropped randomly. Sometimes, the bird pecked once and received nothing. Sometimes, it pecked 5 times and got a feast. Sometimes, it pecked 20 times before a single pellet appeared. The result was startling. The birds didn't eat normally anymore. They became obsessed. They pecked at the lever incessantly, completely ignoring their physical fatigue, driven into a state of perpetual compulsion. This is variable reward schedule, the exact mechanism embedded inside your favorite apps. When you open TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Shorts, you never know what the next swipe will deliver. It might be a boring advertisement. It might be a cringe-worthy video. But every 10th or 20th swipe, your brain hits a jackpot. A video that makes you laugh out loud, a piece of shocking news, or a deeply relatable psychological truth. Because the reward is unpredictable, your brain releases a surge of dopamine not when you get the reward, but in the microsecond before you swipe. Dopamine is not the chemical of pleasure. It is the chemical of anticipation. It is the itch that demands to be scratched. Your feed is not a digital magazine. It is a slot machine disguised as a social network. The architecture of digital compulsion runs much deeper than random rewards. It relies on 3 hidden structural mechanisms embedded quietly into the interface of modern applications. Mechanism number 1, the removal of stopping cues. Historically, human culture built natural stopping cues into every medium. Books have chapters, newspapers have physical edges, albums have a final track, movies have ending credits. These physical boundaries force your conscious mind to pause, reflect, and ask a fundamental question: do I want to continue? Modern app design completely destroyed stopping cues. In 2006, the infinite scroll was invented. followed quickly by autoplay features. Today, when a video ends, the next one begins before your brain can process the transition. The bottom edge of the page does not exist. By eliminating the physical pause, software architects effectively stripped away the natural checkpoint where your free will operates. You are kept in a state of frictionless momentum, gliding seamlessly from one stimulus to the next without ever making an explicit choice. Mechanism number 2, the illusion of agency. Notice how modern platforms are styled. They give you buttons to like, save, share, or click "Not interested." They offer you a customized feed, making you feel as though you are curating your own intellectual landscape. You tell yourself, "This is my algorithm. It reflects my unique taste." In reality, the algorithm is not serving your interests. It is mapping your vulnerabilities. Every second you pause on a frame, every time your thumb slows down over a thumbnail, a silent data point is recorded. The system does not care about what you consciously claim to like. It tracks what keeps your retina attached to the glass. If a video about existential dread keeps you watching 4 seconds longer than a video about comedy, the algorithm will quietly feed you existential dread. You believe you are choosing the content, but the content is actually engineering your emotional state. Mechanism number 3, the default network hijack. When human beings are tired, lonely, or overwhelmed, our brain activates what neuroscientists call the default mode network. This is the background state where we reflect on our lives, process emotions, and make sense of our personal relationships. It requires quiet space. However, processing real-life emotions is uncomfortable. It involves confronting difficult truths about your career, your identity, or your loneliness. Algorithmic apps offer an immediate, low-friction escape from this discomfort. The moment your mind drifts toward a heavy thought, your hand instinctively reaches for the phone. The app acts as a digital pacifier, numbing the discomfort of your internal world with a continuous stream of external noise. You aren't scrolling to find something new. You are scrolling to avoid meeting yourself. Let's examine the subtle signs that this architectural system has recalibrated your baseline nervous system. Sign number 1, micro-boredom intolerance. Think back to the last time you stood in line at a grocery store, waited for an elevator, or sat at a red light. Did you pull out your phone? The modern mind has been conditioned to treat even 3 seconds of empty space as an emergency. The threshold for tolerance has dropped so low that silence feels uncomfortable, almost threatening. Sign number 2, continuous partial attention. You sit down to watch a movie or study a complex subject, but within 5 minutes, your hand searches for your phone. You end up listening to the movie while scrolling through short clips. Your brain is no longer capable of committing full focus to a single linear narrative because it has been trained to expect a high-frequency dopamine hit every 6 seconds. Sign number 3, phantom scrolling. You unlock your phone with a specific task in mind, perhaps checking a text message or looking at the weather. Yet, 2 minutes later, you realize you have opened an algorithmic app instead, completely forgetting why you picked up the device in the first place. Your nervous system executed the muscle memory automatically, entirely bypassing your conscious intent. When we step back and look at the broader picture, a sobering realization emerges. An entire generation is blaming itself for a lack of discipline, internalizing guilt and shame over an inability to focus. But you cannot solve an architectural problem with personal willpower alone. Expecting a human mind to resist a system designed by thousands of data scientists analyzing trillions of behavioral data points is not a fair fight. The algorithm relies on your unconscious compliance. It thrives in the dark spaces, where habit replaces awareness. The moment you begin to see the architecture for what it really is, not a window into the world, but a highly calculated system engineered to monetize your focus, the spell begins to break. You do not lack free will. You were simply placed inside an environment designed to make you forget you have it. The next time you find yourself staring at a glowing screen at 2 in the morning, feeling that familiar sense of heavy fatigue, pause for just 3 seconds. Do not throw your phone across the room in anger. Simply notice the thumb movement. Recognize the variable reward. Identify the missing stopping cue. When you make the invisible mechanics visible, you reclaim the power to make a conscious choice. If you have felt this quiet tension between your intentions and your screen time, take a moment to reflect. What is the one moment in your day where you notice the algorithm pulling you away from your own life? And what would happen if you simply let the screen go dark?